Hey everyone, welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. This is scenario, the basic level, so I guess B6, final scenario of the basic level. We're here at the dilapidated plaza with the character Alahazra. So at this location, when you play a boon that has the acid trait, you are dealt 1 acid damage. Okay, it shouldn't be an issue for Alhazra. I don't think she has any boons or items in her character deck with the acid trait. So advancing the blessings deck, it's a blessing of Abdar, and we get our first card, which is a hyena. Combat 9. When you examine this card, okay, we did not examine this card. So Alahazra has it in her deck, or in her hand, the Fireblade spell, which is her divine skill D10 plus 2d4. And since that spell has the attack and the fire trait, she gets to add a d8. Alright, so rolling all these dice, she gets to add a 3. Actually, she gets to add, it's her divine skill. Her divine skill has a +4 modifier. So it's almost an auto succeed, but not quite. Okay, so here we roll a grand total of 8, 18, 19, 22 plus 4, 26. This hyena is banished. Rolling to see if we recharge the Fireblade spell. It's a recharge of Divine 8. I have a Divine D10 plus 4. And we rolled a 2. So unfortunately we do not recharge the Fireblade spell. That kind of sucks. I even bumped up her skill feat with a Charisma plus 1. Alright, resetting the hand. Advancing the Blessings deck. It's the Blessing of Pharasma. And we get Dry Quicksand. Okay, not a big fan of this card. It's Obstacle Trap Elite. So let's see what we have. We have the Fomet Clansman. We have a Blessing of the Ancients. We're just going to go ahead and use a Blessing of the Ancients and do a straight up survival check, which is going to be 2d8 plus 2. Okay, a little chancy here, but we're going to try it. See what we get. Alright, we rolled an 8. We rolled a 5. So, total of 8, 9, 10, 13 plus 2, 15. Alright, awesome. Very happy. The Dry Quicksand. We've been having a few of those in this campaign so far. Resetting the hand, advancing the Blessings deck. Alright, it's a Blessing of the Ancients. Good to see. Corridor Dart Trap. Trap Construct Veteran. Dexterity disables Stealth Perception 6. Well, Alhazra really doesn't have anything like that. So it's the difficulty to defeat is increased by twice this scenario's adventure deck number, which is a 0. Alright, so what we're going to do is Alhazra has really glad she picked up that spell. So hopefully the Find Traps is going to really help her out. She can add 2 dice to her check. So she can add 2 dice, plus she's going to use a Blessing of the Ancients and be able to recharge it, since a Blessing of the Ancients is in the Blessings discard pile. And her dexterity is just a paltry D4. Paltry D4. So let me go ahead and find some D4s here. 1, 2, 3, and okay, so we are rolling 3d4, and we need a total of 6. Okay, I think this is doable. Famous last words. Hey, a 1. Alright, 4. Another 4. Some 2 there. Alright, more than enough. Corridor Dart Trap successfully defeated and banished thanks to the Find Traps spell. We are rolling to see if we recharge the Find Traps spell because Find Traps. It's a Find Trap. Okay, Wisdom Divine 6. Let's see, Divine is +4 modifier, so we needed an 8. Yep, so we did recharge that spell. Awesome. Okay, resetting the hand, advancing the Blessings deck, and we get an Elemental Treaty spell. Okay, so this is Intelligence Arcane, Wisdom Divine. Well, Alhazra's Divine is Charisma plus 3, plus she has a +1 modifier, so this is an auto acquire. Sweet. So we'll go ahead and just cast that right away. We will display this card next to the location. Let's see. We have we have the Cure spell in our hand currently. So we are going to go ahead and use it. There's only 2 cards in our discard pile, so we will automatically be able to shuffle both of those back into our deck. So we're going to do that. And let's see. What we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can recharge the Cure Spell. Rolled a 4, and we have a Divine 8 check, which is a +4. Okay, we successfully recharged the Cure Spell. And now what we're going to do is we're going to discard the Vomit Clansman in order to explore the location. So we're going to go ahead and discard Vomit Clansman. We're going to explore. And we get this fine fellow, Tarek 4 wins. So Charisma, Diplomacy 7. Diplomacy, so Charisma is D10 +1. Diplomacy is Charisma +2. So it's going to be a Charisma +3 check on a D10. All right, let's see what we get. We get a 4 +3 is 7. Awesome. So we acquire this ally. Well, very nice. I really like this card. We can recharge this card to recharge a weapon or an armor that has the basic trait from your discard pile. Wow, pretty cool. I like this guy, this ally. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and discard Tarek 4 wins in order to explore the location. Well, you know what? We're not going to get too greedy. We are going to go ahead and reset the hand, advance the Blessings deck, and let's see what we get here. Okay, we get a Shock Elemental. Shock Elemental, immune to electricity, mental, and poison traits. All damage dealt is electricity damage, combat 9. So if you play a weapon that does not have the bludgeoning trait, well, we're not playing any weapons. What we are doing is we're doing our good old Fireblade spell, which is going to be the Divine, which is a D10 plus 2d4, and since it has, according to Alahazra's special power, the fire and the attack trait, we get to add a d8. And not only that, we get to add +4 to this roll. So it's almost an auto succeed, but not quite. But as it is, we rolled a 14, 15, 16, +4 is a 20. Okay, so the Shock Elemental is banished. Rolling to see if we recharge the Fire Blade spell. We need a Divine 8. And we rolled a 10. Awesome. Fire Blade is recharged. We're going to go ahead and reset our hand. And we're going to advance the Blessings deck. And we will continue exploring. Okay, we get the Collapsing Scaffolding. Alright, this could be problematic. So we have to do 2 checks. Since it's a barrier, we don't take any damage. So first check is Dexterity, Acrobatics, Perception. So Alhazra just has a Dexterity of 4. Ouch. This might hurt. So let's see. Let's see, rolling that. So we rolled a 3 for our first check. So we failed that check. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and roll another d4. Interesting. So then we rolled a 2. So, unfortunately, if the result of the first check to defeat exceeds the result of the second check to defeat, you are dealt 1d4 combat damage, then recharge your hand and end your turn. So we are dealt 1d4 combat damage. So we rolled a 2 for the damage. So we do have a Tussa Silk Cloak, which we can recharge. And then we have to recharge your hand. We have to recharge our hand, which we will do so, and we have to then end our turn. So recharging the hand. Okay, we're getting a bunch of useful cards. That's Collapsing Scaffolding over in this, how fitting, it's in a dilapidated plaza. I would expect no less. Okay, 4 cards left in the location deck. Randomly determining which card is on top. It's the 3rd one. Okay, so now we're going to advance the Blessings deck, and okay, we get Collapsing Scaffolding again. Wow, just it won't go away. So we have a Dexterity check. Alhazra just has a Dexterity of D4. We're just going to roll the D4. Alright, so we rolled a 2, but fortunately we have Maga 3 fingers, we're going to recharge her to add 3 to the result. So the first result is a 5. So now we need to roll a 7. So we're going to use a Blessing of the Ancients. So then actually, you know what? We recharge our Find Trap spell. So we're going to discard this card to add 2 dice to any check to defeat a barrier. Sweet. And we'll go ahead and use a Blessing of the Ancients, which we can recharge. So for the second check, we're actually going to be rolling 3d4. Wow, what a lifesaver. So 3d4, we need a 7. So we rolled a 1, and a 2, and a 4, and a 1. So we rolled 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it says here, if the result of the first check to defeat exceeds the result of the second check to defeat. Okay, so that was not the case. Alright, so thanks to all those shenanigans, we were able to defeat the collapsing scaffolding. We lost a lot of cards. We're going to roll to see if we can get our Find Traps spell back because it's awesome. And we don't. So it has to stay in the discard pile. Alright, resetting the hand. Getting some interesting cards here. Advancing the Blessings deck. We are going to get the Dijin Quarterstaff. Very cool. Strength melee. Or Divine 8. Nice. We're going to use a Blessing of Wajet, which says we can reveal this card, we can discard this card to add 2d8 to any check to acquire a boon. Well, we want this. So discarding 2d8, and we're going to roll our Divine skill. So we're going to be able to add 4 to this roll. Alright, so 6, 10, 15. Alright, we obtain the Dijin Quarterstaff. Very nice. Okay, let's see. What we're going to do now is we're doing pretty good. 2 cards left in the location deck, 2 cards left in the Blessings deck. We'll go ahead and use the Blessing of the Ancients. We get to recharge that card since there's a Blessing of the Ancients in the Blessing discard pile. We want to explore. We're going to get an Armored Kilt, Constitution 5. We're going to try to get this card. So 3, we do not. It gets banished. Advancing the Blessings deck, resetting the hand. Technically we reset the hand first, then advance the Blessings deck. And now we get the villain, or the henchman. So it says here that it's a henchman, combat 12, undead mummy veteran, immune to mental poison traits. The difficulty to defeat is increased by the scenario's adventure deck number, which is going to be 0. So it has an after you act effect. So we are going to use the Immolate spell. So it's going to be a total of a d10 and 2d4, and since it has the fire and attack trait, we get to add a d8. Let's see, I think that's going to be enough because we're adding, since it's Divine skill, we add +4 to this roll. Alright, so we roll the 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, +4, so we rolled a 20. So this henchman is banished. We did not have the electricity trait, so we have to bury a random card from your discard pile. Okay, there's only 3 cards in the discard pile. Rolling to see which one is banished, so we have to banish the Blessing of Wajet. So we bury it. So we bury that blessing. This creature is defeated. We are going to roll to see if we recharge our Immolate spell. And we do. Roll the 9. Alright, so now we have the opportunity, since there's no more cards in the location deck, to try to close this location. We have to succeed at a diplomacy check with a difficulty of 4, plus the scenario's adventure deck number. So the scenario's adventure deck number is 0, or B, and we have to roll a 4 higher. Well, the Alhazra's charisma, or diplomacy check, is charisma +2. She has a charisma +1, so it is an automatic success. Alright, so fairly entertaining. Alright, let's go ahead and check out what we got. Well, Alhazra, the location is closed. Alhazra got some pretty nifty loot. She got that new spell. This is her ally here. This card, really an awesome card. Really like it. Plus, not only did she get that, but she got this brand new weapon, the Dijin Quarterstaff. So this is the state of Alhazra's deck. All the cards are returned. So her great ally there. She's got the whip now. She's got a lot of cool stuff that she can trade. She's got a new ally. She's got the armor. So the reward, since this is the final, let's straighten that up there. So since this is the final scenario of the level, she actually gets a power trade. So the power, or I should say a power feat. The two choices are either the additional hand size, or I like this second one. When you play a card that has the fire or poison and attack trait on a check, add 1d8. So I really like that. So we're going to go ahead and check this one, because now she has the option of getting spells, or also that is really beneficial. So what's going to happen is that she can visit now a trader. So I think what she wants to do, she can do the Smiths of Wati, she can get a weapon, she can try to get an item, but she's going to go ahead and she's going to try to get some spells. This guy offers spells. So for the spells, I'm going to randomly determine which spells Hayden Hopper has to offer. So rolling the D30 here. So we get 12 card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or that one. This is always the best part of the game, leveling up. Okay, so let's see. Well, none of these new spells have the poison and attack trait. Was kind of hoping for that. Acid Splash is really good because it can be for combat or a disabled check. So we pretty much definitely want that card. So what we're going to do is we will go ahead. Lightning Touch is pretty cool. But what we're going to do, we're going to say to Hayden Hopper, okay, give us the Acid Splash spell. And what we're going to do for you is do we want to keep Tarek Fourwinds over the Thomit Clansman? That's a good call. I don't know. So do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We didn't gain a blessing. So let's look at these spells here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to trade him the Elemental Treaty, and then we have a choice of, we can only have one weapon. So the choice is are we going to keep this Dijin Quarterstaff? It's for a combat check, reveal this card to use your strength, or melee plus 1d6 plus 1. And we can discard it for more damage. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, I like the whip, but this one might be a little more in character. So we're going to give Hayden Hopper the whip and the Elemental Treaty. And then in order for us to gain the Acid Splash spell, and then in order to keep the Acid Splash spell, we're going to have to discard one of these cards. Wow, that kind of hurts, because these three are pretty cool. Tough call. Should we get rid of the Cure spell? The Cure spell is pretty good. I have to lose an Immolate. You know what? We'll go ahead. We're going to lose the Fireblade for the Acid Splash. It'll give us a little more ability to deal with barriers and traps. So we got these two great spells now for barriers and traps. These two great offensive spells, and that's a defensive spell. Alright, well that is the state of Ahmotep's deck. That was a pretty fun scenario. Part of the fun of this game is gathering the loot and doing some trades, leveling up the character deck that way. So hopefully you enjoyed that scenario. We'll be starting scenario, or I should say level 1, with the next scenario, and I will have another scenario up shortly. Alright, thanks so much.